there. So, you want to learn more about a CPN, huh? So let's just jump right into it and let me tell you. So a CPN is a private number that can help you reestablish credit. It is a 9-digit number that is fully tri-merged with the 3 credit bureaus. So this number is kind of like another social security number, but it's not. So it's a number that you can use with the credit bureaus instead of using your own personal social security number. A lot of people are starting to use these for privacy reasons. Most senators, presidents, celebrities, all of those people, they use a CPN. That way, nobody can ever access them through their social security number or look them up that way. So you might be thinking, what all do I need so I can get a CPN? Well, for starters, you will need a new address, an address that you've never ever been associated with. You'll need a new email address that you've never used. You'll need a new phone number. And obviously, you'll need your actual birthday and your real ID. And together, you'll be able to use that. So, how can CPNs be used? CPNs can be used to go and start businesses. Like, they can be helpful to PG a business. Like, as far as, maybe you have a brand new business that you haven't really built out business credit on. So, therefore, you need to personally guarantee application or something so that you may get approved for that funding. You can also use it to start a business, Airbnb, Turo, vending machine, photo 360 booth, so many different things that you can do with the CPN. You can actually use it, to get an apartment. The only thing that you cannot use it for is anything government based, like government assistance, like food stamps, Medicaid, and different things that are like that. The only way you can, and also you cannot use it to purchase a home. In order to be able to purchase it, you would have to go ahead and get into listing your CPN with the IRS. The IRS actually allows us to have up to 2 CPNs in a lifetime that we can attach to our name, and then we'll be able to use it for whatever it is we want to. So you might be asking, what's the process? So the process of a CPN is we'll do a consultation, get you set up in our system, and then I start the process. So I will decode the CPN, then you need to find and create the new number, attach the CPN to you, and then add the CPN to public record database, sign up for credit monitoring sites, add primary trade lines. Then you'll be able to add the seasoned authorized user trade lines as well as backdated primaries. So you might be wondering, what are the seasoned authorized user trade lines? So seasoned authorized user trade lines are basically trade lines where you piggyback off another person's payment history. So for example, they have a few websites out there that you can actually go on and purchase trade lines. So if I'm a person that has great credit and I have a credit card that I am currently paying on, I can technically put that up for sale. I can add authorized users onto my account. So I can add maybe 5 of them. So that means I would advertise 5 slots for people to become an authorized user on my credit card. Does that mean that they'll have access to my credit card? Absolutely not. But every time that I make a payment, it means that they make a payment basically, and it boosts up their score. So this authorized user trade line actually helps you get a score even faster. Like if you're a person that wants to get a place or a car, these authorized user trade lines are definitely for you if you're in a rush. So basically once I put you on there, you'll be able to have 90 days worth of payment history. It usually takes between 4 to 15 days to report after you purchase it. And then you'll be able to have a credit score that will skyrocket straight through the roof within 2 weeks after you purchase it. So that's a great way to add it. And then you have the regular primary trade lines that are like Self, Lockbox, credit builder cards, Chime cards, different things like that. Now you do have to have your public records in order. And what public records are, those are listings like when you go to Starbucks and they're like, hey, do you want to sign up for our rewards program, or CVS or Kroger's or any places like that? Those are public records. Like, they put you into a system that basically, puts your information out there. Because as you may know, once you get your CPN and you have a fresh phone number and a fresh email and stuff, like, the system doesn't know who you are. You're a ghost. Now, just think about it this way. I'm 28, for example. So that means my credit profile is at least 10 years. So that's at least like hundreds and hundreds of public records that I've done. I've signed up for Kroger's rewards. I've signed up for Starbucks. I've signed up for all those things over the course of these 10 years. So basically, anytime I put my information up in the system, then it's going to pop right up like they know it's me, Rayanne Black. So that's how we want it with your CPN. So we want to get your information out into as many systems as possible. That way it can populate your information. And when lenders are running checks on you and stuff, it's not coming back that this person does not exist. It's coming up with your information. It's coming up with your CPN number. Like, this is a real person. This CPN number is real. So we want it like that. So lots of PR. Public records is required to have a great CPN. You might also ask, like, how long does this process take? So for me to set everything up, it usually takes me between 1 to 2 weeks. For you to accumulate a score, it usually takes at least like 2 to 3 months. I don't care what nobody tells you. Like, if you get a CPN and it's fresh, of course it's going to take like 2 to 3 months for a score to generate, because you're going to have to pay on time monthly payments. You'll need to make those monthly payments on time for it to be able to boost up. So the more primary trade lines, obviously, the better that your score will get. But this isn't to say that you should go out and get 1,000 trade lines on your CPN and then you're not able to keep up with them monthly, because then that's just gonna mess your CPN up, and that just defeats the whole purpose of a CPN, right? Starting over, having a fresh, brand new, great credit profile. If you end up missing all those payments, it's just going to make your CPN drop down, and then you'll end up having to repair it and do all those things that you just don't want to do. You would have wasted money for nothing if you end up getting things and you're not paying for them. Now, a lot of people might think, is a CPN legal? No, it is not illegal. Yes, it is legal. So basically, where a CPN becomes illegal is when people get these CPNs and they burn through them. Yes, they're going to catch up with you. The credit bureaus and everywhere, they're going to be looking after you. You open up all these accounts and stuff, that's a crime. But if you're a person that wants to legitimately have a fresh start and you want to go ahead and set one up, and then you want to be able to pay payments on time, you want to be able to use it like you're supposed to, then absolutely a CPN is the perfect way for you to go. It's great for people that may have evictions, felonies, anything on their credit, or they might not be able to go ahead and wipe their credit clean right now because it might take a longer bit of a process, because as we all know, you have to fight tooth and nail with these credit bureaus to get some of these things off. So sometimes that could be a timely thing, but I also offer those services as well. Credit repair for your personal credit. So within setting it up 1 to 2 weeks, no, you won't have an immediate score. Like I said previously, you'll actually have to have some primaries, and you'll actually have to be able to pay on it for a couple of months. Now, if you want a score generated within like 2 weeks, then I recommend using one of those AU trade lines that I spoke about before. Sometimes those can run anywhere between $280 to $1,500. It just depends on what kind of AU trade line you get, how much the limit on it is, and how old the account is. Now, a lot of us, it will do us some justice to have some age on our accounts. That's where those backdated primaries come in. So in my system, I help you and I give you a list of how to add a backdated primary trade line. It's a trade line that can age your account up to 10 years. Now, mind you, you have to also correlate with your age. Like if you're somebody that's only about 26 years old and younger, then of course you won't have 10 years of history and will we'll go ahead and make sure we have it like, you should have like 6 or 7, 8 maybe years of history. So we'll make sure we have that amount on there. I provide a guide teaching you how to do that. I don't advertise the whole add 2 trade lines, your kid 700, a 700 credit score, because that's absolutely up to you. And not necessarily does it always happen with just 2 trade lines, you get a 700 score, voila. Like, I don't care what some of these gurus or whoever are telling you, that's not true. Like, if you want to build actual credit, I would say go to an actual credit repair specialist like myself, and then we'll be able to teach you and help you learn how to build your CPN up properly, how to maintain it, and how to achieve a 700 credit score. That's just like us with our personal profile. Like, we can't just add 2 trade lines and boom, all of a sudden there's a 700 credit score. It just all depends on, if you add those authorized user trade lines, then yes, like if you get enough of those, absolutely you can get a score of 700 that fast. So the next question I get is, how long can I use my CPN? So CPNs can be used as long as forever. A lot of companies are starting to catch on to it. So I would say get on the ball now, like go ahead and get on the road now before they have find a way to detect them all together. But if your public records are together and if you have your CPN structured, you should have nothing to worry about. And that's why me, Ray, I'm here to help you and assist you. So below this screen, you'll see 3 different options for the plans that I have. What you would need to do is either choose the plan, or you could schedule a consultation with me and we can get you booked and we can get you started right away. I do offer payment plans, and the way those work is you would pay me a third of it up front for me to get started, and then I would gather all the information, create the number and everything for you, and we would exchange at that time. Once it's time to exchange that information, that's when your second payment will be due. And then after that second payment, I'll go in, I'll help you do the trade lines, and I'll help prepare you and let you know what all needs to be done. Or, if you have documentation that you need for an apartment, I'll be able to help you at that period of time. So a CPN can be used for greater good. It's $1 million thing that you can use. Credit is wealth. If you know about credit, then you know that credit is absolute power, because you can have one of these CPNs and you can go out, build it up, get like a $25,000 Amex credit card. Boom, you can go and put like 500 down on like maybe 10 cars at a buy here, pay here place or whichever, and use it in your CPN name. All while you're paying the payments, boosting that up, you can have those cars issued on Turo, and you can be making money off of those cars, making your payment, your monthly payment, as well as making a profit off on the side. It's all in how you use the credit where it'll benefit you the most. You can't just think like, hey, I just want a car, I just want an apartment. That's okay to start out with. But with a CPN, you got to think bigger. Like, even with credit, think bigger. There's so many different things that you can do with credit. Like, if you have good credit, you can get credit cards, you can get an apartment, you can turn that into an Airbnb. You can literally use your credit card limit that you have to go ahead and furnish your Airbnb. And then once your Airbnb is back on site, you'll be able to turn around and pay those credit cards off. And then while making a profit at the same time. There's so many things that you can do with these CPNs, you guys. Like, the sky is ultimately the limit. And beyond, infinity and beyond that you can do. Credit is wealth. I can't say that enough. So if you're somebody that's interested in a CPN, go ahead and check out my videos below and tell me which package would be better for you. And I promise, if you don't find a package that's good for you, if you schedule a consultation, we most definitely can customize you a package and come up with your price right then and there. So this was Ray, and I hope you have enjoyed this, and this has been great information to you. See you soon.